So if there's something that I've learned over this past year, it is that consistency is really the key, right? Consistency is the key. Consistency is king, right? To get to accomplishing what you're looking to accomplish, right? And so I want to say what's going on, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the podcast. I'm just here riding in the middle of doing some meetings today. So there was something on my mind that I kind of wanted to talk about, which is consistency and how it kind of came about. So if you're not sure, right now I do a lot of video work for different clients, and most of it is on YouTube, right? And there's a couple new clients that I'm looking to bring on, or maybe even to onboard, or that I'm trying to maybe get as a new client when it's new business. And one of the things that before I used to stress getting new clients, and now I don't worry about it. I still try to go out and get and land new business, but it's if they're not quick to move or whatever, I don't worry about it no more. I just stay patient. But I'll also know that while they're waiting on the sideline, that me and my clients, we're out here and we're delivering content constantly, right? On a consistent basis. So we're going to be winning in that fact. Now, when they get on board, or if they ever do decide to get on board, then they'll start to get into that flow. But, we're consistently putting out work. And it made me really kind of look at how you can really separate yourself from the pack just by being consistent, right? I started to realize not that long ago when I started going into business for myself, that a lot of things that people do out here is not really that special. And not to say it in a way that's oh, nobody does anything special. There's plenty of people who are doing special and amazing and creative and great things, okay? What I'm saying is that, let me rephrase that. It's not that people aren't doing things that are special. It's that you personally don't have to do something that special to separate yourself, right? That's something that I learned very early. You don't have to do something super special. You don't have to do something that's unique to really separate yourself, right? One of the easiest ways to separate yourself, especially if you're trying to establish yourself, or you're trying to get yourself out there, or whatever the case may be, right? One of the easiest ways is through consistency, man. You know what I mean? So check this out. I like to run, right? So I'm a runner, all right? That's my thing. I don't really do the gyms, but if people like gyms, whatever, it's up to you. It doesn't matter, okay? But what I notice is that I run, I run, okay? But what I notice is that I use this app. It's called Map My Run. And they'll give you these challenges. Sometimes it's you can make your own, but sometimes they have these challenges for everybody. If you're on an app, you can just sign up for the challenge, and it'll be something get in 15 workouts in 30 days, or run so many miles, or do so many hikes, or whatever the case may be, right? And there's and I've joined a couple of these challenges, and some I finished and some I didn't finish, right? But what I noticed is that even on the ones that I didn't finish, I would still finish off overall pretty high percentile, you know what I mean? In the they break it down. So let's say if you got to do 15 workouts in 30 days or whatever, right? And let's just say you did one workout, you might be in the bottom 98%, right? And if you did 10 workouts, you might be in the 50%. You did 20 workouts, you might be in the top 10%. Right? And I noticed that a lot of times I finish in the top percentages, even if I don't finish the challenge, right? So there's a challenge that I'm doing right now, and it's called You versus the World, right? Or You versus 2018, excuse me, right? And so the goal is to run, I don't know, maybe 2,000, 18 kilometers or something like that. I don't even know what kilometers. All right, I know, but let's not even get into that. The point is you got to run 218 kilometers. And I remember I was doing the math, breaking it down after I got the conversions and everything. And it came out to roughly it was actually a lot of running. It was maybe 50 miles a week, something like that, maybe, something like that. Don't quote me on that. But either way, all right. the point is that I joined the challenge late, right? It started at the beginning of the year. I joined the challenge late, and and at the beginning of the year, it was like, I live in Jersey, and it was like super cold, and like I hate the cold, so I was not running in the cold. I maybe got out there every once in a while, but for the most part, I was just chilling. Well, at least the running side of things. But what I noticed is that, like, okay, so I started this challenge late. I started like 3 months after the year had got started, and like my workout started from there. And I was in like the lower percentages, and I've been staying with it. And I've been running, roughly like, I don't know, 2 to like 4 miles each time I run, and I try to run like 2 to 3 times a week, right? I mix it up. But what I notice is that, every time I complete a run, right? It doesn't matter like what the distance seems to be. It could be 1 mile, it seems like, a half a mile, 10 feet, right? I always move up into percentages. And I realize it's because not so much that I'm out here and I'm killing it, right? Because it's like, I think it's like 1,000 kilometers, all right? Maybe it's like 1,000 kilometers. And I think right now, as far as the challenge is concerned, I'm at like 100, all right? So I gotta like times 10 what I just did, all right? But what I notice is that, every time I run, I move up in those rankings. And it's not because I'm out here killing it. It's not because I'm doing tons of miles. It's because I'm being consistent, right? It's because I'm showing up, right? Think about it. That challenge started at the beginning of the year. How many people probably have joined that challenge and quit since then, right? And the thing is, it's not like you got to do it all at once. You got a whole year to do it, right? So not everyone has to be a run. You could walk, you could bike, you could hike, you could, whatever the case may be, right? And they all count as distance towards, the overall challenge, okay? But it's really, what I notice is more than likely because people have dropped out, and most people are not consistent, okay? And I'm gonna say this right now, and this is an actual fact. You might not like it, you might not agree with it, but most people are not consistent. Most people get into something and then they flame out. You see what I'm saying? And I'll speak on my personal experience. There was things that, whenever I'm not consistent with something, it just always fizzles out. But anytime I was ever consistent with something, anytime I ever showed up and I just dedicated myself to it, I didn't have to know everything about it, but I just dedicated myself to it, I was always successful. I used to coach track, and I coached soccer for a little bit. World Cup's going on right now. But I coached track, and one of the things I used to always tell my athletes is like, we would always be consistent. We would drill, 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 we would drill. You ask any of my athletes, how does Coach Moore practice go? They say, drill, 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 drill. We have a little fun. Drill, 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 drill. We have a little fun. And the whole point is because we're being consistent, and B, we're making things a habit. And when you're consistent, it's easier to create a habit out of something. So now you don't have to think about it, right? And we always focus on execution, right? And so the problem is a lot of times, not the problem, but one of the things that you can always separate yourself from anybody in any pack, I'm telling you this right now, is consistency, man. As long as you show up consistently, however you show up consistently, that's, once a month, if that's once a week, if that's once a day, whatever it is, as long as you are consistent about it, you're more than likely gonna win, right? Because most people aren't consistent. Most people don't know how to play the long game. Most people, it's in today and it's out tomorrow, right? I'm getting in shape today, and then, summertime's over and I'm done, right? It's so funny. It's like I see people like trying to get in shape now, and it's like, dude, summertime is over, man. Like, you're not gonna get that beach body now. It's too late for that. All right, you should have did that in the wintertime, but that's not the point, yo. You know what I'm saying? Or like, say for example, they try to get in shape now, they miss the summer window, and then they stop. So next year comes around, you're back in the same cycle, right? So you want to be consistent, dude. Like, that will separate you from every and anybody, man. I'm telling you, consistency. And then the other people who are consistent will recognize you. They will give you credit, okay? So you will get your respect due, you'll get your credit, you'll get your, whatever, your recognition that you feel that you deserve, or maybe that you're aiming for, by just being consistent, right? And it doesn't even have to be special, right? So many people think that, in order to separate themselves, like in their business or at their jobs or, around a certain group of people, that they have to do something unique and out of the box. Yo, consistency is so rare in people that is unique, right? And that's just being consistent about everything. It's being consistent about your values, your principles, and just the way that you show up and approach life, man. So whatever you decide to do, right? If you decide to do something, be consistent about it. And I guarantee you, it will separate you. I'm telling you, this is like a fact, man. This shit ain't even like made up. This is a fact. Consistency is the king, okay? And it will separate you from 98% of the pack. You don't even have to do nothing special. You can do something that's garbage, and if it's consistently put out there, you win it. You win it. And that's what I realized. So like, think about it this way, it's not like a competition that we out here on, but life is kind of a bit of a competition. But if you want to win any competition, man, consistency is the quickest way to win that bad boy, yo. So like, if you out here and you putting out content, you trying to grow on social media, you trying to grow in your business, you trying to grow in whatever the case may be, at your job, at whatever, it doesn't matter. As long as you are consistent, you gonna win, man. Because most people ain't consistent. 98% of people ain't consistent. All right, they ain't consistent the way they show up. They ain't consistent in their principles, their values. They're not consistent for what they stand for. You know what I'm saying? They just, it's a lot of stuff is here today and going tomorrow, right? It's a new fad. It's like, people's attitude is like social media. It's like a flash in the pan, dude. It's like dope today, and then tomorrow it's just, shit is a distant memory. So just stay consistent, man. And this is just something personally, that I realize is just that will set you apart. You stay consistent, man, most people can't even keep up with you. So that is it for me today. I just had that on my mind. Figured I'd share that with y'all. Hope that you like that. If you do like it, like, comment, and subscribe. Or if you're listening to this on the on the podcast, you're listening to it, or maybe even watching it on the podcast, man. Leave me a rating, leave me a review. I'll throw some contact information up in there, and get at me, man. So until next time, people. Peace.